Hello, I'm Adam Barralet and welcome to this Crystal Connections video where we're exploring 5 different crystals that I love to work with when I'm working with the energy of Scorpio. Now, when we're exploring any of the zodiac signs, we're looking at 2 different aspects mainly. First of all, we're looking at those born under the sign of Scorpio, those that were born when the sun was in that sign, or anyone who may have Scorpio as their ascendant sign, maybe their moon sign, or a lot of other planets that were in Scorpio when they were born. These crystals tend to be really great to bring out those positive attributes that you want in your, in your personality. But remember that each zodiac sign also governs an aspect of life. Which aspect does Scorpio govern? The really interesting aspect of life, the aspects that you don't look at. Now, traditionally, Scorpio governs sex, death, and taxes. So basically, things that we keep to ourselves and quiet, things that we don't want to think about, like death, and things that we avoid, like taxes. So each of these different things, now that can go beyond that and think about anything that we're inhibited to look at, or anything that we're scared to look at, anything that we've been told we shouldn't look at, or that we've kept hidden, maybe some repressed feelings or emotions from childhood. It can also be things that we've always wanted to do, but we think, oh, if I let people know that I'm into that, they might judge me in some negative way, so I'll keep that hidden. All that type of thing. Why I get really excited about Scorpio is this is where the transformation comes. Because if we keep doing what we're doing, we're just going to keep on plateauing along. But if we start to dive into, those unexplored things, those things that we fear, the things that we haven't yet embraced in our life, as we learn to love them and embrace them, that's how we learn to grow. So let's look at 5 different crystals that you can work with when you're tuning in or harmonizing with Scorpio energy. First crystal that I've chosen to work with when it comes to Scorpio energy is beautiful black onyx. Now, black onyx is actually associated with Aphrodite. The name onyx comes from the Latin word onyx, which means fingernail. And there was a myth that once Cupid or Eros pricked off a little bit of Aphrodite or Venus's fingernail, and they didn't want any of that part of her to perish, or any part of the goddess to perish, so the other gods turned her nail into stone, onyx. And this is why sometimes you'll see this kind of banding that might look a little bit like a fingernail. Now, as we know, Aphrodite is all about beauty, love, but also magnetism. Did she chase her lovers? They came to her. And what I love about Scorpios is that they have this in-depth magnetism about them. They're normally not the most vocal or the standing in the spotlight, but they have this power that they hold within them, almost like a volcano bubbling inside. If you've got a strong Scorpio energy, then you probably have that personal allure, and you can use that. Just like a spiderweb spins her web and then knows that she is good enough and allows that which she needs to come to her, Onyx will allow those with a strong Scorpio energy to draw and magnetize to them rather than you having to constantly chase and pursue. So if you'd like to draw in that energy, definitely keep Onyx around you. Being a black crystal as well, sometimes we're scared of the unknown, and black onyx is beautiful for protecting us against things that we're unaware of. On a really simplistic level, it's great when you're walking at home at night by yourself, or if you live in a big city and there's lots of energies around, having black onyx with you or around your home will help to protect you from that. But as we start to dive into these unknown aspects of our life, we can feel a little bit scared, a little bit trepidatious. But having black onyx there will show us that there's nothing to be scared of, that you are protected the whole and entire way. You may have heard of the term shadow self. Now, these are parts of ourselves that we've repressed, that we've not explored, or that we've kept hidden from the world because probably at some young age we decided that it's best if I don't show that. Remember that our parents weren't perfect. They were people, individuals with biases, and they liked some behaviors and didn't like other behaviors. So you start learning from your parents and then your family and other people in your surroundings that if I behave like this, people like it. If I behave like that, they don't like it. Now, remembering that our parents and our family and those that were surrounded around us are imperfect, and their biases would have influenced us, then there are probably aspects of yourself that are quite glorious and quite powerful that were kept hidden. Maybe, you're a boisterous young child and you're told to keep it down because mum and dad were too stressed, or you were intimidating one of your other siblings. And so you become shy as time goes on. Working with the shadow self is looking at bits that you've repressed, kept hidden, that are unexplored, and bringing them up to the surface to go, how can I use these in a positive, productive way? This crystal here, Covellite. It's beautiful. You can see as I catch it in the sunlight there, it's got this blue metallic shine. And it really is great for scrying. Now, scrying is when we catch something like the sunlight or the moonlight or candlelight on it, we gaze into it like we're gazing into a crystal ball, and we allow our eyes to go out of focus. And we ask, what is it that I need to know about myself? This is a really interesting crystal because it's actually a combination of copper, which is a metal of love, and sulfur, which is about illumination. So when we love and illuminate, by looking into the shadows, looking into the caves, we can find the treasure within us. So by having this crystal around, meditating with it, scrying with it, you can start to look at what are the parts of myself that I've kept hidden, and why have I kept them hidden? Is there a proper reason for that? Or is it just because I've wanted to make other people around me feel comfortable or to feel accepted by them? That can lead us to be a bit unauthentic because we're just trying to please people. Remember that as you become more authentic, you might upset some people, but your vibe will attract your tribe. Do you want to give out an inauthentic vibe and attract people that you don't really gel with on a soul level? Or do you want to give out an authentic vibe and attract your soul family to you? Covellite will allow you to understand who you truly are and what you want to bring to this world and what you give to this world, and give you the confidence and the strength and the love for yourself to actually be who you truly are. Of course, those with the strong Scorpio energy don't tend to veer away or shy away from that which is mysterious or, unusual or kind of hidden in the dark. And they're really that's where they know that transformation and that growth really happens. And so again, Covellite gives you that strength as having a strong Scorpio energy to really embrace that aspect of you. To not always take things at face value and to go, there's something deeper here, and to dive into the depths of being human and what the human psyche is all about. Covellite will help you with those discoveries and support you along the way. When it comes to all the zodiac signs, I think there are two that are 10 out of 10 on the passion scale. The first one would probably be Leo. Leos have that big heart and they like to be out there and shine their light bright in the world. Whereas Scorpios prefer to kind of contain that 10 out of 10 passion and hold that like a volcano within them. They have the ability to make amazing things happen. And I'm definitely not discrediting any of the other 10 zodiac signs, but there's something about this real passionate energy that drives, kind of pulses through the veins of Scorpios that I really, really love and really, really inspires me. To help to tackle and to work and to bring that energy into fruitful and beneficial and productive outcomes, try working with Libyan desert glass. Now, Libyan desert glass was formed when a meteor crashed into the Libyan desert. So what I'm holding in my hands now is a combination of stardust and desert sand fused together in a massive impact. You can imagine the power that resides within this tektite or this crystal. And so it works really well with the solar plexus chakra being yellow, and it allows that self-will to come out. Sometimes Scorpios can be a bit shy or feel a bit intimidated or feel a bit out of place. And this can actually help you to shine brightly. Ideally in the world, we would love everyone to have a balanced solar plexus chakra. And what I think of, an analogy of when everyone has a balanced solar plexus chakra, when they're underactive, we hide our light, and when it's overactive, we blind other people by our light. When it's balanced, we all just shine brightly together. It's almost so when we look up at the sky and we see all those stars in the sky, which are different suns, all shining, and they create beauty. And this is what's going to help Scorpio to actually step up into their place in the sun and shine and not shy away from things that they may not feel too comfortable about. It's also really great for giving you that, this is one of my favorite crystals for procrastination. And often we procrastinate because it's a fear, because it's something we don't want to look at, we don't want to deal with, and that type of thing. If you've been putting something off, if you know you need to look at something, maybe you need to talk about your sex life. Maybe you need to deal with your will and what's going to happen when you die. Maybe you just need to sit down and budget and maybe pay some taxes. If you're procrastinating, then again, this Libyan desert glass is going to be absolutely amazing for getting you off the couch and getting you proactive and productive in life. In my personal experience with Scorpios, I find that they can be the loyalest of friends. However, if you cross them or do them wrong and betray that trust, they then become the worst enemies in the world. An unbalanced Scorpio who has allowed that emotional aspect, because they are a water sign, to dominate them, can be quite ruthless and become quite heartless. They almost, when they're kind of feel cornered, or when they are out of balance and they're not looking after themselves, or they find themselves in an environment that is not beneficial for them, they go into attack mode and can be really vengeful, hurtful, and can kind of go really out of control. This is where we want to work with another tektite, good old Moldavite. Now, Moldavite was similar to the Libyan desert glass, but this landed in the Czech Republic. Now, meteors do crash into the earth every so often, but they normally just create a black kind of tektite. This is unusual, being this bottle glass green kind of color. Really, really cool. So this one's going to work with the heart chakra. So this can help the Scorpios drop back into their heart, to bring that love in and to make sure that they are being kind and generous. Because that attack mode, although you may win the battle, you're not going to win the war, and you're only going to separate yourself or ostracize yourself or feel less included and feel less loved as time goes on. This is also a really great one when you are worried about, exploring different aspects of life. Moldavite, some people here I've heard when they get their first Moldavite, they divorce their wife, they quit their job and they move to India. They do these dramatic things. And I know someone's contacted me when I've said that before and said, I don't want that to happen. I like my wife and my job. Doesn't mean that happens. It means what happens is Moldavite increases your gratitude. It opens the heart to being more grateful for love and grateful for what the world gives us. And so as you are more grateful, the world starts to deliver more. The universe will deliver more to you. So when we're wanting to dive in and evolve, and Scorpio is that spiritual sign of going in deeper into the cave, finding more treasure, unlocking the secrets, this will help us to do that with love, rather than doing it out of fear or out of, competition or something like that. As any intention that we have, as long as our heart is filled with love, the outcome will be beneficial in the end. Moldavite is really good, whether you're an unbalanced Scorpio who's in attack mode, or whether you're knowing that there's something you need to explore and you're not sure how to do it. If you do it with love, and Moldavite will help you to do that, all will end well. We've been talking a lot about this transformation and change, and if you're looking for a crystal for transformation, look no further than probably the highest vibration crystal on this planet, Phenakite. Phenakite resonates really beautifully with that Scorpio energy, and for anyone who is wanting to evolve and grow and ascend, you definitely want to have some Phenakite in your collection. Now, this also resonates with the guardian angel of the sign of Scorpio, and that is Barralet. Barralet is someone who can take your passion, because passion and anger are very, very similar. They're both very fiery inside. The difference is anger doesn't have an outlet and can be destructive. Passion is normally productive and creates beautiful things. Barralet helps to make sure that that fiery energy is being channeled in the right direction to make sure that you're bringing benefit to your own life. So this is called the Australian wave when the flies are bugging you. To be beneficial for your own life, but also beneficial for those around you and for humanity as a whole. Obviously, whenever we're facing something that's unexpected, we're diving into something that we haven't explored before, it feels a little bit chaotic, it feels a little bit uncomfortable. And Barralet can help you to remain calm and centered in and amidst that change. So when you are going to look at something that you haven't tackled before, have a conversation with someone that you haven't dealt with before, any of those types of things, and you want to remain calm, grab some Phenakite and just ask Barralet to stand by your side, to be there, to keep you calm, to keep you focused on what their final objective is and not get swept up in the emotionality of it. This is really great for Scorpios, but it's really good for anyone who's ready to embrace anything that they've been avoiding, repressing, scared, any of those types of things. This is going to be a great crystal, and Barralet is going to be a great ally for you. So these are 5 crystals that I really love when I'm working with a Scorpio energy. For example, a full moon or a new moon in Scorpio, or for anyone who tends to have a lot of Scorpio energy in their chart. Let me know, which crystals do you tend to work with when it comes to Scorpio? Do you agree, or do you have some other suggestions as well? Leave them in the comment section below. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I'm Adam Barralet. Blessed be.